Okay, so I started the recording. I just need to pick up my controllers. Basically, what happened since the last video is that I looked it back, and I enjoyed it. It was fine, but it all seemed to be a little bit right, zoomed in almost. And I guess that makes sense. I did have to do a bit of manual cropping in order to not have any visible cropping, I guess, so that makes sense. Basically, what I'm trying this time is that I'm going to try launching. Oops, I forgot to launch a mod organizer too. But yeah, I'm going to try launching the game just with my display capture enabled, and I'm going to see if that works. So let me actually just open my mod organizer too real quick so I can actually launch the game. One sec. You ever have that where you just like get your VR all set up, you're in the headset, and then you got to like take something off again because you forgot this one thing, like your headset or like your headphones, for instance, or the controllers still in the charger, or something random like that. Do you ever get that? That was a lot with me in VR. Okay, cool. I'm strapped in. I'm just gonna launch the game, and it's still recording. Yep. Now, I wouldn't have thought this would actually do anything, because when I do this, there's like a vertical window that just appears over. So I don't think it will actually make any difference whatsoever. But I'm still going to give it a go. You might not be able to hear any audio also, by the way, because I don't have my headphones plugged in. Like, this isn't really like a proper playing session. Hey, my bro, how's it going? Just trying this because I saw it as like a random solution from a guy, very slow talking. It seemed to work for him. Does some weird tweets on the internet with certain things, but that's besides the point. What is besides the point is that he's using like the whole display capture thing. He literally has his OBS on the screen when it's recording. He launches the game from Steam VR, and then it seems to just work flawlessly for him somehow. But yeah, I'm not really seeing how this will work. I guess I also didn't have my OBS window active when I launched this, and I didn't really launch the game from Steam VR because of the whole mod organizer thing. So I'm not really expecting this to work, but I'm giving this a go either way. Yeah, like, I can't really see a lot out of this headset, but I'm just seeing like a bit of a window and a bit of another window on my monitor from what I can see. I think what I'm going to try next then is that I'm going to try and keep this game running, try and do a bit of recropping, repositioning almost, of my original method, which is Steam VR window capture through the game capture feature on OBS. And I'm going to see if it's like off-centered or anything like that. Because that's basically what the issue is at the end of the day. Like, what you see again is mostly what I see, really. Just seems to be off-centered. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to see how this looks, and I'm going to try the other method. Okay, so what I tried doing is that I went back to my original solution. It's the Steam VR window, which is showing the dominant eye lens, so to speak, through the right eye only, because that's my dominant eye. And I tried to do a little bit of rescaling. So from what I could gather at least, I've got it bang on in the middle, horizontally. Not quite symmetrical, so to speak, vertically, but hopefully that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Again, PSVR 2 has a very tiny sweet spot anyway, so you'll still probably be able to see more than me, even if it is slightly zoomed. So, let's see, how am I going to test this? Okay, so I have my right eye only open, and my controller is right in the middle, I think. Yeah, more or less at least. Okay, so that's how I'm going to test things, basically. So, let's see, so I have an arrow here, and can I like turn this? This is okay. Like, I'm not sure. Like, this is like in the middle, I guess, kind of. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be poking arrow through my eye. Maybe I should. I hate Akitas. What up? I have no idea what you're saying, mate. Oh, I just boosted. I keep on pressing the wrong button. Okay. What is in the middle? My finger is in the middle. Yes, I have the finger, and it's in the middle of my right eye. Okay. One more thing. I'm going to do this little circle on my arm. That is, whoa, twitching apparently. It's going crazy. Hang on. That is in the middle of my right eye. Okay, there we go. I'm going to look back at the recording now and see what this looks like. What I decided to try is I decided to try and add a new game capture without doing any adjustments whatsoever, and you're probably going to notice that there is a bit of cropping to the left, but I thought I'd see if it's in the middle anyways, even with the cropping. So I'm only going to do one test this time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my finger is more or less in the middle of my right eye. That's all I'm going to test. VR output off sensor. Recently tried recording games for HTC Vive and noticed that the view in my headset doesn't match what's on my monitor or what's being recorded with OBS. Image looks great, but everything being recorded or seen on my monitor is off center by about 20% to the right to what I am seeing in the headset. Is there a setting for this to adjust? I've redone my room setup, but no help fixing it. Yeah, cause like sometimes when I like research this, it actually gives me that advice to like recenter and reset your play area setup. The only problem, let me just make sure my audio levels are correct. Hang on a sec. Okay, we're good. The only problem with that though is I think it's referring to what you actually see in the headset and not what's being outputted. If that makes sense. And I think this person is referring to what's actually being outputted, which is what I'm referring to as well. This person seemed to have the exact same issue as me. Use add new game capture in OBS, right click properties and tick full scaling. Hopefully this should work. Well, that should work even. Well, I added a new game capture and this is my game capture. Hang on. Now I'm not seeing my game capture. We'll just pretend it's there. I'm gonna right click properties. There should be like a force scaling thing, right? Let me actually just put this on the top. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, force scaling thing. What? I'm not seeing full scaling anywhere. Maybe I'll right click the wrong properties. Hang on a second. Let me try right clicking on the screen. Right click properties. Oh wait, now this is my actual. Hang on. There is actually something for my display capture, funny enough, called Force SDR. I don't know what that does. Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. Damn it. We have a Force SDR for display capture. Hang on a sec. No, he mentioned game capture specifically though. What? There's nothing here for game capture. That's for scaling, that is. Unless they renamed it. So capture audio, crossfade capture mode, transparency, pre-manipulated alpha, limited capture frame rate, capture the cursor. Use anti-cheat compatibility hook. What? Capture third-party overlays such as Steam. Hook rate. RGB 10A2 color space. I mean, maybe it's one of those. I don't know what all those mean, but from what I can gather, I'm not sure it's quite what he's referring to. Maybe if I go here to the empty group, like the empty, if I right click in the empty. I don't know. Settings maybe. I'm scrambling here. I don't know. Okay. There's a properties thing here, which I can't see now. Okay, if I select this, yeah, I had a feeling it might just take me back to this. But I think there is another solution. Let me see what this says. The two views in the headset are cropped on the inside due to physical limitations. If you close one eye in VR, it is a better match then. See, that's what I was doing though when I was doing my center testing. I was like doing it in the center on my right eye only because I was only having the VR view output thingy for Steam VR show my right eye only. So I had my right eye closed, was doing it right in the middle, and I could see that my video footage was well off. Like what was meant to be the center was all the way to the left for some reason. I don't know why, to be honest. It's weird. Let's see what else they say. There is something called stereo overlay. How much of the two images that show basically the same thing? And it's not 100%, so it will seem off center. You'd have to crop to make it centered, but it's still uncentered. Okay. I'm not sure I'm really finding anything here. I think I'm gonna see if I can find a different article. See, and this is what kind of annoys me as well. It's like people, when they respond to this, kind of be seen as saying that it's just one of those things, how it's set up, you're kind of stuck with it. So what is the solution then? Because people can make Steam VR view output render properly, or at least so we presume, I guess. Unless it is always off center, but because we're not the streamer or recorder, we don't know. I don't know. It is quite confusing, actually. Okay, I have it opened. We're going to alt enter it now. So alt enter. No, it's just selecting things in the game. What? No, I don't want to actually control the game. My keyboard. I just wanted to go in the full screen mode. But it could maybe now alter my searching, so to speak. I could maybe see how I would go about making an application in full screen, even if it's something like this rectangle, and see if that works. But I'm not sure that would be a great idea anyways, though, because as far as I know, how it works is that VR outputs this rectangular view anyways. I'm actually not too sure, to be honest, how Steam VR View can capture it in like that kind of display. But I mean, clearly it seems to be doable, so I don't know, maybe that's, I wonder if it does actually do a bit of stretching then, maybe, because the tutorials I saw on OBS VR capture were literally saying, yeah, you're gonna have to stretch the image out a little bit, but yeah, do the best possible result. And it gets me wondering, well, does Steam VR View actually stretch the image? I don't know. Maybe I should reconsider OBS capture then, OBS VR capture. It always sticks to me that my computer started freezing up when I had that installed, but again, Skyrim VR was running in the background, so I don't know, maybe it was just that. But I mean, my computer's running fine at the moment, but I guess I could also say the same thing for when I had OBS VR installed as well, and so it eventually just randomly started lagging, so I don't know. I really don't. Okay, I'd like to quickly say that I was going to have this as an all-in-one video, but then I looked through the recording and the total time came up to around, well, let's just say it was a little bit longer than I was going for. So I think I'm going to divide it into multiple parts. Like, seriously, this is even after I've done some edits, really, and it's still that long. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to divide it up into multiple parts, and that's kind of all I wanted to say. So, if you watch the next episode of this, I'll see you in that episode. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video of mine that you watch. Goodbye, everyone.